Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a band whose name, makes me giggle. They're called Up Your Alley Band. Like, how weird is that? Anyways, it's a great name. It's just funny because my show's Allie's Attic Show. Please welcome Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Hi, Ali. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for talking to me.
Thanks for agreeing to come on my show. Now, like I said, I love the name of your band. Um, it's not spelt the same way as my name, but it's just so weird that your name is Up Your Alley Band and you're on Allie's Attic Show. I think it's
How
hilarious.
lucky is that?
I
How
know.
lucky is that it's not spelled the same?
Exactly, right? Okay, we're not even going to go there. Anyways, it's Friday, right? Okay,
That's right.
so you're a Utah band, and the musicians that you have in your band formerly played in the 80s Salt Lake bands Equinox and First Strike, as well as 90s Utah County band Exit 282.
That's correct.
And now,
Equinox was actually the very first band I was ever in, and we formed that band when I was 13.
whew,
And a couple of the guys that are in Up Your Alley were in that very first band. I've been playing with some of the same musicians for over 30 years.
wow. Okay, and then First Strike and Exit 282, and they're all in Utah, obviously.
Correct.
Now, you grew up in the 80s, and a lot of your music reflects that. And now, your influences are some of my favorite bands. I'll tell you one thing.
Great.
My theme song is Here I Go Again by Whitesnake. Just wanted to.
Very good.
Yes. So it's Iron
Yeah,
Maiden.
my lead guitar player is a huge Whitesnake fan.
Oh, they're amazing. I wish they were
So,
still.
yeah,
Yeah.
we all those bands, Whitesnake, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Oz, Kiss. It all started with Kiss, but it wasn't very long after that we started discovering all the other 80s metal bands that, I mean, some of them are still going today, and I try to see them in concert every time I can because, those guys, some of them guys are pushing 70 years old. They're not going to be around forever, so.
Yeah, you want to see them as, and I mean, we've lost so many amazing musicians in the last little while. It's just, it's
Yeah.
very sad.
And speaking of, all the original members of Motorhead are gone now. That's tragic.
It is. It's very tragic. And then Chris Cornell and Prince, who I was absolutely in love with. Yeah, and just a lot of them, and it's very sad. And you're right. Get out there and see them as much as you can because you never know, right?
Right.
Now, your philosophy is make music that you like, and hopefully other people will like it too. I like it.
Well, thank you. Yes, and I think that's part of the reason why people do like it. I think if you try to force it and write music for any other reason to please somebody, whether it be a label or even fans for that matter. I mean, I think if you're more honest about it and you write music that you like, that comes across to the fans.
Oh, definitely.
And I think that's why a lot of people do like our stuff.
Well, and it's catchy as well. I mean, it's really good music. And yes, the lyrics are amazing. Now, tell me about, you formed in 1991,
Yes.
played 2 shows together, and disbanded.
Right.
Tell me that story.
Well, we did play 2 shows together. We formed in '91, but we were together for quite some time after that. We just didn't do a lot of shows. We did a lot of writing. We did a lot of rehearsing. We did a lot of recording. And then, for whatever reason, life happened to several of us.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of the guys got married. That kind of changed the dynamic of things. It kind of got put on the back burner, so to speak, and we ended up just kind of going our separate ways for whatever reason. I don't really remember a specific reason. It's not like we got in a fight and decided we didn't want to play music together anymore. It wasn't like that at all. It was just kind of, like I said, life happened. And then in the early 2000s, I decided that it would be a great idea to move to Florida and basically start over from scratch. And I did that, and man, I regretted it the whole time I was there. But I stayed because I had a job that it was one of those kind of jobs you don't quit. You know, the money was too good and the benefits were too good, so I stayed even though I was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
All I wanted to do the whole time I was in Florida was get back to Utah so I could play with these guys again, because the whole time I was gone, even though that we weren't a band anymore, they still kind of got together once in a while and kept in touch, and they kept writing, and they would send me music, you know, electronically for me to listen to. They'll, here, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Everything they sent me, I was like, man, I got to get back there somehow so we can be a band again. And finally, about 3 years ago, I was able to make that move. And so we reformed in 2014.
Now, you were in Florida for 13 years.
Yes.
That is a long time. And at least you all kept in touch, which is amazing. When you were talking about, you know, band members got married and this happened and that happened, the first song that popped into my head was Bryan Adams' Summer of '69, because I think that happens a lot to bands. Everybody assumes, I mean, because we've heard about all the fighting in some of the bands, and that's why they, you know, break up or whatever, but everybody assumes that that's what the case is, and it's not always the case. Like you said, you know, people start families, or, you know, job opportunities come up. You're an independent artist, you need to make money somehow.
Right. Yes. And that's exactly how it all went down. I mean, you know, one guy decided he was going to start a business, and so to take care of his brand new family that he just had, you know, and so that took up all of his time, and you can't be mad at somebody for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You can be sad because, you know, the band's not together anymore, and we were. Like I said, none of these guys could ever really stay away from each other. There was always that want or that need to make music together, and I felt that way from 2,000 miles away. And you know, the title track to our album is called Unfinished Business, and I wrote that song as it kind of tells the story from my perspective, what I went through in those 13 years.
Being away
from those guys, wanting to get back home and be able to play and write music again, and that kind of tells the story about that.
Well, and your first album, not just the title track, your first album is called Unfinished Business. And
correct. Yes.
Now,
and you can, and by the way, just real quick, you can get that on Bandcamp.com.
Okay.
And you can name your own price with it. You can even get it for free if you want to, or you can pay whatever you feel like you can or what you want. Just if you want to get it for free, enter 0.00 in the price, and it's yours.
Well, and I urge everybody to at least pay something for it. I mean, we have to support independent.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yes, we would definitely take it, but, you know, it was more important to us at the time to get it out there to as many people as possible, and giving them the option to get it for free was something that we thought would be unique, maybe, and maybe when we put out the second album, you know, they'll think, oh yeah, I remember this, I'm going to buy this. So.
Well, there you go. Well, and I mean, that's completely up to you. I just urge everybody to support independent artists, because it's not easy being an independent artist, because you don't make a lot of money and everybody works full-time jobs, and then you're gigging and practicing and writing when you have a chance to. So yeah, if you can even pay $1, just $1.
I'm sure you've seen that meme on social media that says musician guy that puts $5,000 into $5,000 worth of equipment into a $500 car to go to a $50 gig.
Yes, I have seen that, and it is so true.
That's us.
Some of the gigs you just play and you have a tip jar, and it breaks my heart because I'll watch them on YouTube when they're playing or on live media somewhere, and nobody's listening to them. And it's like, oh my God, they're so talented. Like, hello, pay attention.
Yeah,
Anyway,
really.
um, now from the first rehearsal when you guys got back together, it was immediately apparent that the magic was still there and you guys all gelled together well again, which obviously shows in Unfinished Business. Your songs are amazing. I absolutely love every single one of them, because I have
Thanks, I
listened.
appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. And like I said, I love your name. Anyway, I'm going to keep talking about that because it just cracks me up. Now, what are your plans now? You've got Unfinished Business out. What are your plans after this?
Well, we're in the process of possibly working with a promoter here locally, to get some more gigs. Um, we're all to the point now where we just want to play in front of people. We're not real super picky about that, but don't get me wrong, we don't want to be just another bar band.
Mm-hmm.
I would be happy playing once every 4 to 6 weeks, to where people will go, oh man, I haven't heard them guys in a long time. Let's go see them. Instead of what usually happens is, oh man, them guys play every weekend. Let's do something else. I just saw those guys last weekend. I don't want that to be us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're looking at doing, is maybe getting some more gigs. And we've actually already started writing and recording the second album.
Awesome.
We're about 3 songs in on a brand new album. So it takes us a little while because we do it ourselves. We did this last album completely ourselves. My bass player, his name is Rick Bergsma, and he actually recorded and mixed and engineered our first album, Unfinished Business. And it sounds amazing. I mean, I would put it up recording quality with just about anything that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it ourselves. It took us a year because, like I said before, life happens. And so sometimes we'd have to go, hey, send out a group text and go, hey, can we do guitar tracks Sunday night? Or can we do bass tracks Monday or whatever? And then try to get everybody's schedule to coincide. It took some time and obviously some patience, but I think it was worth it. I think it sounds fantastic.
It does sound fantastic. Name all the members in your band and what they play.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
And what they play.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I said Rick Bergsman. He's the bass player. I have 2 guitar players. One of them, his name is Jeff Blaylock, and the other guitar player's name is Russ Fitzgerald. And the drummer, his name is Damon Blaylock, and him and the other guitar player, Jeff, are brothers.
Oh, nice.
And then obviously I'm Jeff Jackson. I'm the lead vocalist.
Okay. Now, when you get your first album out, when it's all complete, get a hold of me because I'll bring you back on to debut it if you'd like. Or
Okay.
some of the people just send me their, when they release a single and I put it up on a page that's called Odds and Ends and help promote it. So I'm always here to help promote as much as I can. Now, because
That's awesome. We need more people in the world like you.
Oh, thank you. I love what I do. I get to listen to all this new music. I mean, when I was in radio for 18 years, I'm so tired of saying this, but everybody is probably tired of hearing it, but it's true. I was in radio for 18 years and we couldn't play independent music. And
Right.
it just, you had to be on a label and you had to be, top 10 on the Billboard charts. And according to the licensing, whatever kind of music we played, it was crazy. We could not play independent music and it just was awful because there is such a great variety of music and such great musicians out there. And I love doing this now because I get to discover it all. And it's
I'm with you. I totally agree. And I just want to throw one thing in there as well. So yes, we're just a local band from Salt Lake City, Utah, But I'll tell you one thing: Salt Lake City, Utah, has a ton of talent in it. It's not. It's not just up your alley. There's a lot of us out there in this town that all want to do the same thing, and I have to, like you, I want to remind people to support your local music scene and support your indie artists, because you're right, they don't make a lot of money, and they do it. They play because they want to. Just like that's all we want to do. We just want to play for people. We hope they like it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. That is what it's all about. Now you've been doing this for a while, Jeff. So if you had any advice to a new artist that was just starting out or a new band, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, I think, first of all, yeah, the advice I would give you today is probably completely different than I would have 30 years ago, for obvious reasons. But the best advice I can give is, I kind of already stated it, was play the music that you like. Don't write music for anybody else. Don't write music because you think that that's what somebody wants, or that's going to get you ahead. Stay true to yourself. You know when you like something, so stick with that. I know people that have said, well, I'm going to be in a country band because there's more country bars and I'll get to play more. Well, that's fine. You can do that, but you're not going to be happy. If you're not happy playing country and you're only doing it for that, don't do that. Stay true to yourself and what you love, what you believe.
That's great advice. That is great advice. And I will say, and I do mention this a lot, if you turn on the radio and you listen to the top musicians and bands or whichever, they are so talented, and they're kind of, I think, restricted in their artistic abilities and where they want to go. And everyone sounds the same. And some of them are writing their own songs and they're great, but they're told that they have to sound a certain way and they're not being true to themselves. Some of them maybe, and I don't think there's a lot of them, but it makes me sad because some of them are so talented. So I think that's great advice. You write and sing the music that you want to, not what you think somebody wants to hear.
Exactly.
Now, what two songs are we going to hear from you today?
Well, today we're going to hear a song called Perfect World, and we're going to hear a song called Radio. And I'll just tell you that we didn't necessarily release a single officially, but if we did, we would have had to release both of these ones because there's no way we would have been able to pick between the two. So, yeah, these are a couple of our favorites, and Radio especially goes over amazingly well live. And so, yeah, those are the two, Perfect World and Radio.
Now, do you have any YouTube videos?
There are a few. I don't necessarily have. There's a couple of different channels. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But if you type in Jeff Up Your Alley, you'll get probably both channels, because my name's Jeff and my guitar player's name is Jeff, and he has a channel as well that has videos on it. So,
okay.
I just type in Jeff Up Your Alley. You should be able to see some.
Okay, I just want people, if you do have some, I want people to be able to go to it. Now, you're also on Reverb Nation, correct?
Correct. Yes, we're on Reverb Nation. There is, I think, maybe 8 songs on Reverb Nation, and you can also stream and download those for free as well.
Okay. And I'm going to once again urge people to buy because yes, we want people to buy. We want, independent artists to make something. Jeff, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day and coming on my show. And like I said, anything new happens, you let me know, and you're more than welcome to come back on, or I will do whatever I can to promote you. And I'm going to say Perfect World is a favorite song of mine. I love it. Radio is really good too, and I can understand why you had a hard time choosing because they're both really good songs. And I am tickled pink that I get to kind of introduce you to the world that I'm involved in on Twitter, because they're all independent artists and it's a community.
Uh-huh.
And not only are listeners going to love you, but I think a lot of the independent artists out there are going to love you as well. And they're a great support and great promoters. So I'm so glad you came on. And like I said, the name of your band, Up Your Alley, was just like, what? My mom actually said to me, what? What is their name? I'm like, it's Up Your Alley. And
What?
she kind of looked at me funny. I go, it's not spelt the same, Mom. Anyways, but yes, thank you so much for coming on, Jeff, and don't be a stranger. And I wish you guys the best of success.
No, Ali, I appreciate you even taking the time just to talk to me. We can't thank you enough for what you do for indie artists, and this is proof positive that you actually care, and that's refreshing. So thank you for having us.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. You're making me tear up. Don't do that. It's Friday. I want to laugh. Thank you
Okay.
so much. I appreciate that. And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers.